Hey guys, welcome back on another video. So as you read by the title, it's going to be my labor and delivery story. So it's going to be a story time. So let's just jump right onto the video and let's just be real. Birth fucking hurts. Like, bullshit aside, that shit fucking hurts. So let's just start the video. Okay, so I was just going for like a regular checkup for an ultrasound. And I was at 37 weeks. And I was 37 weeks and I just went in for a regular checkup, like just to see how he's doing. And I was just there, they were checking the baby, and then like I seen like the doctor was looking like at the baby, and she was looking like all weird. So then I was like, what the fuck is going on? So then she calls the other doctor. The doctor comes and looks, and then like he like looks at me. He's like, the baby's not getting any fluids. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, he's only 5 pounds and he's not getting any fluids. And I was like, what the fuck? So then he called my doctor, and she was like, okay, you gotta go to the hospital and go get checked or whatever. Oh, and my ultrasound place, it was like a high risk ultrasound place too. So like, yeah, there was something wrong, obviously. So I rushed to the hospital. I was like in the car, I was bawling, crying, because I was like, oh my god, what's wrong with my baby? Like you just were. I was just thinking the worst. I think if it was you too, like you'd be like, oh hell no, like whatever. So yeah, I was bawling, crying, and my boyfriend's like, calm down, it's okay, like everything's gonna be okay. And I'm like, no, it's not, nothing is okay. Like, I might have him today, and it's like I'm not ready to have him yet. Like, what if he's not okay? Like, I don't know, it was just crazy. Okay, so yeah, this was on Wednesday too, Wednesday the 21st, February 21st, on a Wednesday. So then I go to the hospital and I get checked in, and like I get put in a room and everything, and like they're all checking me or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so like, can I go home now? And then they're like, no, you can't, like you're staying here, like you're gonna have the baby. And I was like, oh hell no. Like I wasn't fucking ready. Like I still had 3 more weeks to go. Like everything just happened so fast. And it was just crazy. So I got to the hospital, and like I was there for like an hour or two before I got induced. So I got induced like at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, February 21st. And I was like, oh my god, I wanted to go home. Like I didn't want to stay at the hospital. Like no. So whatever, like I had to stay the night, and I was like, and then like I got induced or whatever, and the doctors was like, okay, so this could take up to like 3 days. I'm like, oh hell no. 3 days in the hospital plus like the days you have to recover from giving birth. I was like, oh my god, I just want to go home. And my house is so close to the hospital too. Like this is the hospital, and like this is my house over here. Like it's so close. Like I look out the window right now, I can see the hospital. I was like, my house is just right there, can I go home? Obviously I wasn't able to go home. So I just spent the night. Throughout the whole night I was fine. I was chilling. I was on YouTube, I was on Snapchat, I was on Instagram, I was on Netflix. Honestly, I got bored of doing everything on my phone. I'm like, oh my god, I want to go home. But I couldn't, because I had already got induced. So I got induced and nothing was going on. I wasn't feeling anything. Like I wasn't feeling like I was contracting. But on the little paper, if you have a kid, if you've had a baby already, like you know how it is to give birth. So yeah, like I guess they can read every time you like have a contraction. I'm like, and then the doctor will be like, did you feel that? Like you just had a contraction? I'm like, no. So yeah, I wasn't feeling anything. And then so it was kind of hard to sleep throughout in the night too, because like I would feel like really like I would feel some like little contractions, but it was like mild contractions. Like it felt like cramps, like you know when you're gonna get your period type of shit. So that's what I was feeling. And so yeah, I wasn't feeling anything too strong. It was just like mild, like little period contractions. That's how I felt them. So then, like, okay, went through the night, and then like the morning came along, and like they started to get a little bit like, oh, okay, now I'm getting a little taste of a little contraction, but it wasn't nothing crazy like, oh my god, I need an epidural or some type of shit like that. It wasn't even like that. So then 12 at noon is when I started contracting really bad. I was like, oh fuck no. I was like, this is the feeling of labor. Oh fuck no. So yeah, they started getting worse at 12 noon. And then I was like, okay, like you can take it, like, cause honestly, when like before I even like was gonna go to the hospital and go give birth, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to go natural. Like, I'm not gonna get an epidural. Like, I'm not gonna get nothing in my IV. I'm like, no, like, I want to feel everything. So yeah, I started contracting at 12. Like, they started to get a little bit worse and worse throughout the time. So 12, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 4 p.m. came along. I was like, oh fuck no, like this shit fucking hurts. Like, I need some fucking type of medicine to ease my fucking pain, because that shit was like a fucking 10. Like at 12 it was like a 3, 4, but like at fucking 4, that shit was like really bad. So I was still like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't want to get the epidural. Like, no, like I'll get the one on my IV. Like, fuck it. It was just like ease them just a little bit. So I got it like at 4. And the one in my IV. Oh my god. If you're gonna have a baby and you're in labor or whatever, do not get the one on your IV. That shit made me feel like stupid. I was just like, okay, like I felt like fake, like I should have never got it. So then I was like that for like 30 minutes, and then at like around 4:30 or whatever, no, like it was 4, and then like 30 minutes later I'm like, fuck no, like I need the epidural. Like honestly, I wanted to go natural or whatever, but I'm like, no, like I need it. So I told my boyfriend, I was like, call the nurse, because like this shit's fucking hurting. And then the nurse is like, okay, well let me just check you down there. And I'm like, okay, like do what you gotta do, but I need the epidural. And so she checks me and she's like, no, you cannot get the epidural, you're ready to push. I was like, oh my god, okay, well I'm gonna push already. She's like, okay, wait. So like I'm already like pushed. Oh, and I was not able to get the epidural, so I felt literally everything in my labor, like pain, like I felt everything. Like, I mean, I'm kind of glad I did, because honestly I did not want the epidural, but at one point I did because it hurt so bad. But I'm glad I went from like a, what was it, I went for like from like a 3 to a 9, like this, like within 30 minutes I was like, okay, I'm ready to push. So yeah, I was already ready to push. So the nurse is all lagging, and I'm like, no, like I gotta push now. So then I started, like, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta push. Like I started pushing, and then like you gotta like relax. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to push again. And like 15 minutes later, I had my little baby. It was like, honestly, at that moment it hurt so bad. But now that you like think about it again, it's like, oh my god, like my labor was so great. Like I do that shit all over again with my baby. Yeah, labor, like honestly, like I think if I would have had that epidural, I wouldn't have felt literally everything. But since I didn't get the epidural, I literally felt everything. And when I was in the hospital, I was like, oh hell no, I am not gonna have any more kids. Like that shit fucking hurt. I'm done with kids for now. I'm gonna wait till like 5 years from now. But now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, that shit went smooth. Like I'll do that shit again. But yeah, and then within like 15 minutes of pushing, I had my little baby. So yeah, labor, it hurt though. Like that shit hurts. If like any of you girls have had a baby, you know that shit hurts. Even before you get that epidural, like you feel everything. Like, But yeah, I'm glad I did not get the epidural. And then after, I guess he ripped me a little bit inside. So, like, they had to stitch me and shit. Like, I got the little pinches. I'm like, that shit hurts. And the doctor's like, okay, I'm almost done. I'm like, no, that shit hurts. Oh, and then after you give birth, too, you have to push out the placenta. Yeah, you can feel that shit, too. Like, your vagina's like this, and it fucking opens like this, and you can feel like it goes... Yeah. It's crazy. Labor is crazy, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my story time. And yeah, like, subscribe, share, turn your bell thingy on so you can get notified every time I post a new video. And yeah, just you'll just stay updated with every time I post a new video. Thank you guys for watching.